Fortran Training Company. We'll be discussing with you about discussion as a training tool for us trainers. Okay? We'll be talking to you about what all is included in discussion, like what all is required, what is the environment required, what is the importance, and we'll also do a role play for you to understand the questioning technique during discussion. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Are you with me?
Yeah.
Great. So I'll introduce my team members. We've got Ranjeev, we've got Sunila, and we've got Nancy, and myself, I'm Monica. Welcome to all of you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I forgot the name of your group.
Fortran.
Fortran. So each one of us is going to take one topic, and then we'll also do a role play.
Okay.
Over to Nancy.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Mansi, as just introduced. So I'm going to talk to you on environment. Now, whenever we have any discussion, the environment has to be conducive and healthy and friendly. You cannot have a discussion when the environment, of course you can have a discussion when the environment is hostile, but it's not going to be a friendly discussion. So to make the environment friendly, we have certain you can have the icebreaker. Like this morning, we had a change in the group. So the participants changed of each group. So we had an icebreaker here. That was a game by which we got involved because each one wanted the team to win. So that was icebreaker used in this group. Or in other groups, of course, if the group is too large, suppose you have a group of other restless students, then you can have icebreaker like a song. So the whole group sort of gets involved without, you can't have small groups then. So here it's okay, since the numbers are less, we could have. So active role by participants. Now, as already you saw in the first group, each and every member except for one actively participated, like how all of us will be actively participating in whatever discussion is going on. So each and every group member will be cohesive and they will take the opinion of everyone. And we come to the next one. Explain the purpose. When you have a discussion, we have to explain the purpose for what you have gathered there. What is the topic under discussion? So our topic was discussion, and we gathered there to discuss about the topic on discussion. So the ground rules. So certain ground rules are laid down always in every group, like suppose you should not have your mobiles on, suddenly your mobile starts ringing and then you are somewhere else. So that interferes in the discussion going on. So these are the things you have to keep in mind whenever you have to have a good healthy environment. I'm repeating once again, a good icebreaker, active role by the participants, explain the purpose for which you have gathered there, and the ground rules should be laid down and followed clearly by everyone, so you are respecting each other by doing all this. Thank you.
My point would be what is the importance of discussion, like how important discussion should be. So now determine the knowledge. Like every discussion, it mostly happens, even in college, I'll just share one example. Like we go and we discuss, we ask the students for group discussions, and many students come out like what was the outcome of that. So that we have to keep in mind that whenever we have a group discussion, whether the knowledge what we wanted to determine has been taken care of or not. Then comes in inviting participants. Again, it happens like in a discussion, only one or two speaks, and others are either playing with their mobile or then they are talking with their doing some other work, or they're physically present and mentally absent. So we have to consider that, and it's the duty of trainer also again to monitor these kind of things happening. And as Ganesh did that shuffling, that also can be done, like we change, I do that, we change the place, or whoever is not attending or I feel like it's not he's not participating, so put a question to that participant or ask do you agree with the opinion. So then naturally that guy is pulled over. And provide feedback whatever that importance or discussions points have been discussed. So the feedback has to come from the audience also. like you keep on asking the feedback about that. So discussion importance is taken care of. So over to Ranjit.
I will be going to tell this how many types of discussion. There is a two type of discussion, mainly structure and free form. Structure is basically what is the objective. We have to stick to the objective while discussing also. Suppose if some participant is asking, so it should be like if I am teaching circulatory system, suppose. So if person is asking on digestive system, so it doesn't relevant. So that is one thing. It should be not a free form, it should be a structure, it should be objective like. So this is what I am trying to tell you, structure and free form.
So coming to the, we've discussed the environment which has to be created for a beneficial discussion to happen. We've seen the importance of discussion, and the third other two types of discussions which will happen. In a structured discussion or even in a free form discussion, you would have noticed that questions are very important. Questions are an important part of the discussion which is happening within a group, with a facilitator or with a trainer. So in order to explain the questions to you, you know, what should be the question asked, how should the answers be handled, and how should you respond to the questions. In order to explain this to you, we'll try to do a role play between us, between all four of us. She'll be our trainer. So the topic is campus to corporate, and we three are engineering students. We don't look like
Of course we look like.
okay, we look like engineering students.
You need a space.
No, we just
You
want
need a
chairs.
space.
No, we'll just get the chairs. So we'll try to give you an examples of the questioning. Right? With me?
Yes.
Thank you. Can everybody see us?
Hi guys, how are you?
Good morning.
Good morning. So my name is Sunila and I am coming from C2C company. So we would like
What is
to
C2C?
know C2C. C2C, you have never heard of it? No. Okay, C2C is campus to corporate training. So do you know about campus to corporate training? Do you know campus to corporate? What is campus to corporate? You know already?
Now that you
No,
told
just you told me.
Yes.
We have an idea, ma'am. We can do the discussion with you. We have a small idea. Rest you tell us.
So what do you know about campus to corporate?
That is from the campus, you go to the corporate.
Yeah, but how do you go there?
Normally, I will take the train.
It's the right.
So which corporate you would go with the train? Or which train? So how will you go to Reliance? Like if you want a job, you directly go
I
to-
am a BE. Will I get a job in Reliance?
do you think with BE degree you will get?
I don't know, madam. You tell me.
See what we have observed is like in other colleges what we do is I'll just explain it to you. Whenever a company comes to place you in the college, they already know you have a degree of BE in relevant streams, but then they already know, but the thing is like you need to have some additional skills along with your technical degree so that you represent your technical knowledge in a proper and smart way, and we are here to train you for that.
Okay.
So any other questions?
Madam will get good salary.
Salary depends how smartly you represent yourself.
Madam, one thing I have observed is that I have sent my CV to a lot of companies, and I feel that there are certain words
wrong type of question is being asked. So we go to phrasing.
Then we come to phrasing. During phrasing basically means during a discussion, a lot of times what happens when somebody says something, you have to get to their mental level to understand what they said. You have understood the way it was said. So phrasing can be used as in you repeat that same thing in your own words. Right? That is really important so that you can get a better effective communication.
I'll add up to this. Like many a times it happens that students, when we ask them questions, they take it in a wrong way and they answer in a wrong way. So the question is not at all clear to them what was asked.
So basically, there is a different types of questions, you know. So you can have a ask when, how, why. So these are the questions you can always ask. So there is a you can make a sets of questions during this while you are making this presentation or training module. You can have a set of question. Which type of question you can ask? 11 questions.
And also you can also ask direct questions. Like one example here, suppose there's some expert who knows about
Like
certain
this
matter.
role play was kind of that thing, like
Yes.
it was structured and individual questions. I was an expert, they were asking me individually each questions, and it could be passed among themselves also. Like for example, if they had been discussing, do we really need this C2C, it's waste of time, it would be among themselves. So that would come into group discussion.
So you can have a group discussion or you can individually ask the question. Handling the answers. We come to handling the answers.
So handling the answers, Carol is
Handling the
in terms of handling the answers, how you can, when through a discussion when you're handling answers for the questions that you've asked or anything, you can have a positive reinforcement, right? So the moment somebody asks a good question, you can just say, okay, that's a good question, right? Or if somebody makes a point, you can say that was a very good point, right? So that kind of builds the cohesion in the group during a discussion. Second is recognize the efforts. If somebody is making or taking an effort about doing something or putting across the point or probably googling in his phone or anything, you can recognize the effort. And a lot of time to minimize the embarrassment. During the discussion, you would see that even I made a embarrassing statement in order to, confuse the facilitator, or even he kept asking, "मुझे salary मिलेगी क्या नहीं?"
That was
Right?
kind of embarrassing.
So you, as a facilitator or a trainer, you have to minimize the embarrassment in the group also. Yeah? And the last is responding to the question, like we discussed yesterday also. If there is a question, you could answer on your own, or probably throw it to the crowd, throw it back to the crowd, or to the person who's asked the question. You can also do that. Okay, why did you ask this? What was your reason? But not being aggressive about it. You just have to be assertive about it. Don't start a one-to-one fight. And either you can defer the question saying that I'll get back to you tomorrow about it. Yeah. So this is how the question should be taken in a discussion. And we
So
are
you
are
have
ready
any
for your
questions you can
questions
ask
now.
us.
yes.
Yes, Bhavita?
Just purely from my understanding point of view,
Yes.
how would you differentiate discussion and Q&A sessions?
Okay. So Q&A sessions are structured discussion. Right? When we say a discussion is structured, then the Q&A session comes. When it is a free form, then we just express our opinions and we.
Having said that, can discussion be horizontal communication only or vertical and horizontal communication?
Every vertical, horizontal. So basically, when I say discussion, for me a circle comes in my mind. When I say a discussion, it happens in a circle.
So a structured discussion can be named as Q&A session?
Or any. Yeah, we've got it.
We defer the question to you.
Is to understand the specific answers to some issues. Discussion may not be that at all. Like if you have seen what Ganesh is doing, 2 days facilitation, he is not telling anything. That is the best way of facilitation. Because if the trainer talks about it, audience gets blocked. What he is doing is facilitating a discussion. He is throwing it around. Now whatever is happening, they are talking, we are giving feedback. There is no question answer.
Yes, this is a discussion.
Yes, this is a discussion.
But the role play, I'm sorry, that is not clear from my point of view.
Yes, yes,
The
you're
role
most
play I
welcome.
thought was more a Q&A than a discussion.
See, according to the two pages which were given to us, I'm sure I'm not an expert on it.
I think, Babita, that's not very clear here. The second part of our whole role play was based only on questions. So the second
Can I answer that question?
Yes.
Okay. See, discussions is for every activity that you do in training. Okay, there has to be a brief, an execution, and a debrief. Right? So here, when you talk about discussion, you throw a topic. You talk about needs analysis.
Yes.
People discuss.
Yes.
Now, for a trainer, it's very important to one control it, and that's when your questions come into picture. That's what Dr. Mangesh was saying. I need to understand the question. So here, it's not probably the activity kind of
It is
deviated
complementing
it.
discussion,
Yeah,
but
it should complement the discussion. At the same time, you get to know whether are people understanding what. So ultimately, though I have been throwing questions at you, I've been gauging myself that are my participants understanding what I want to make them understand.
That is why I asked, is it only horizontal or it is horizontal and vertical?
So basically, it is both actually discussion and.
No, one second. When as a participant, it would always be when you say vertical. You're talking about from a facilitator to a participant.
From a higher
Higher-
level to a,
okay,
I mean,
okay.
whichever.
Right. So in that case, it will be in this when you are conducting a discussion, it will always be vertical. One participant, you cannot ask somebody else. Have you understood?
Discussion has to happen horizontally.
Discussion is horizontal.
Yes, because
Questions,
when we are at
the
the same
questions
level.
that you're asking, the questioning skill will always be vertical.
So does questioning skill be a part of the discussion or an add-on to the
It's the
discussion?
next step of discussion.
I got it.
I think individual and group, if we look at this one,
And there is one more point to understand here. A facilitator makes a session a community. I mean, the total participants they become a community. When a discussion happens, it is vertical, horizontal, diagonal, everything. So here, the community talks among themselves, and whoever has to take learning, they will take. Whoever has not to take learning, they will throw it out.
My confusion is, suppose there's a discussion and it is vertical, then somebody is actually imposing or controlling the direction of the discussion.
That is called control discussion.
Guided discussion or something, right?
Focus.
Like somebody mentioned DNI yesterday, they are like structured discussions. They have a structure to whatever is, who is from DNI, has anybody been in yes. So, yeah, so can we call that a,
No, that's a different thing. They don't discuss over there. There is no discussion. You just talk and you move it. See, there are two things. When you talk about discussion as an activity that you want to conduct, you throw in a topic, right? Now, after everybody is spoken, there's a free flow of communication. So it could come from the facilitator. Ideally, you should just give prompts and let the class discuss. Now, after that is done, you have to initiate certain questions. So if
To understand the outcome
Yes.
of the
Outcome of the
discussion.
discussion.
Yes, actually, we were trying to discuss this question in a way because everybody should understand. See, in discussion, everybody will not participate. So, see, if one thing is repeated 2 times, 3 times, then everybody will understand. So, whether everyone has understood or not, so while questioning, answering, it will be more clear. So, that was the next step of the discussion.
Shweta is.
Theory is also a part of
Ashwata.
Any other notes?
Shweta.
Yes. I would like to differ from Nancy in one thing. She said that I was asking the wrong questions. Now, she was a student, whatever, a BE student, and there was someone who had come to tell her that I'm going to move you from the campus to corporate. Okay, I'm going to train you. So, it is but natural that a student at her level, she will have that
elimination rule for one group. So if they don't follow the ground rules, or if we keep marking systems also for every individual